with Ridgewood. Visit ridgewoodbank.com or click the banner to get started. Member FDIC.
Coming up, Russia is attempting to block the European gas supply. Former President Trump is being fined, and a look at how New York sports teams fared. All this and more as PS News starts right now.
The first base umpire, he is the crew chief, Lance Barksdale at second, and Nick Lenz is at third base. And where Jordan Montgomery is coming in from the bullpen right now, and here come the Orioles pitchers. They're all straggling out, win an awful lot of games, and that's what the Yankees are doing.
Well, we certainly mentioned on the air that the teams, the players, managers, etc., they don't think of sweep. They think of winning 2 out of 3. And let's face it, Susan, if you win 2 out of every 3, you finish 108 and 54. And you know, I
Coming up, Russia's attempting to block the European gas supply. Former President Trump is being fined, and a look at how New York sports teams fared. All this and more as PS News starts right now. Good evening, and thank you for joining us on this busy Wednesday night. I'm Benny Nazai.
And I'm Michael DeMarco. Let's take a look at some news from around the nation.
Russia's aiming a different sort of weapon at European economies. Russian energy giant Gazprom now says it has completely stopped natural gas deliveries to Poland and Bulgaria. This after both countries refused to pay in rubles. The Kremlin issued those demands last month, but until today, supplies remain largely unchanged. For now, Poland and Bulgaria say they aren't putting any restrictions on gas consumption. However, the move is raising concerns Moscow could throttle supplies to other EU countries.
Both the courts and Congress are expected to take action on the fate of Title 42 this week. Whether migrants will continue being swiftly expelled at the southern U.S. border depends on whether the White House can lift Title 42. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas is set to testify today and tomorrow before House committees. A federal judge in Louisiana is temporarily restraining the White House from its plan to lift the measure May 23rd. A hearing on that is set for May 10th. Meanwhile, Republicans are trying to use the power of Congress to keep Title 42 in place. They're leveraging a COVID-19 package to try to force a vote on it. The House Hispanic Caucus says the focus should be on improving how the U.S. handles migrants. The White House says President Joe Biden is challenging lawmakers to come up with comprehensive immigration reform.
Sticking in our nation's capital, the White House confirming Vice President Kamala Harris has tested positive for COVID-19. One official saying Harris tested negative through her regular testing up until today. Cole Higgins has the latest.
After returning from a week-long trip to California Monday night, Vice President Kamala Harris tested positive for COVID-19 upon arriving at the White House Tuesday morning to receive a scheduled intelligence briefing at 10:15 a.m. Harris later tweeting, "I have no symptoms and I will continue to isolate and follow CDC guidelines. I'm grateful to be both vaccinated and boosted."
Is it possible that there might be any updates to protocols, COVID protocols, within the White House in light of Vice President Harris testing positive for COVID?
I would not expect that, no.
The vice president's press secretary saying in a statement that Harris will isolate and continue to work from the vice president's residence. She has not been in close contact to the president or first lady. An official says Harris last saw President Biden at the White House Easter egg roll on April 18th. Despite this, reporters pressed the White House on the potential for President Biden catching COVID.
Is it just a matter of time that the president could get COVID?
I wouldn't say it's just a matter of time, but of course it is possible that the president, like any other American, could get COVID. The bottom line is he is vaccinated and boosted. He is very well protected. He's got very good protocols around him to protect him from getting infected.
I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
President Joe Biden is reversing another Trump-era policy. This time, it's light bulbs. Tuesday, the Department of Energy finalized new efficiency rules to phase out older, high-energy incandescent light bulbs. Old bulbs that don't meet the new standard will need to be phased out of production within 75 days. The Department of Energy will work with manufacturers to ease the transition. And full enforcement of the rule will go into effect in July 2023. Which is also the deadline for retailers to stop selling them. The move is the culmination of a decades-long bipartisan effort to phase out inefficient light bulbs. But former President Donald Trump ruled some of those regulations back after complaining about how LED light bulbs made him look.
Since mid-March, the Department of Homeland Security processed more than 20,000 Ukrainians at the U.S.-Mexico border. They were also granted humanitarian parole on a case-by-case basis. And with Title 42 lifting soon, the Biden administration is preparing for a flood of migrants. A top Homeland Security official outlined the Biden administration's plans for the flood by encouraging Ukrainians to start the application process in Europe. Now coming up, a look at the weather near you. Stay with us, folks.
What am I looking at here? It's a spaceship. From where? From space? All right, people, let's hit these guys with some PSTV. Did not work.
Probably because it's a TV station and not a laser.
Welcome back. I'm your meteorologist, Jason Lynch. Let's take a look at the weather near you. On Thursday, we got partly cloudy skies in the high 40s, and then we go on to Friday, and the clouds get a little bit more cloudy and in the low 50s. And then Saturday, partly cloudy skies in the mid 50s, and then finally the sun comes out and it's in the high 50s. And then Monday, we got partly cloudy skies in the low 60s. That's all for the weather. When we come back, a look at the news near you.
Hello, my name is John Lynch. I'm the president of the school's animation club. While other colleges' animation clubs strive to only show just straight anime, our club tries to be something different, as we show a variety of things such as Western animation, Eastern animation, internet animation, films, and so much more. If you want to meet people who have like-minded taste in animation, then feel free to come on down to our club.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's take a look at some news closer to home. An official judgment finding former President Donald Trump in contempt of court reveals more details about the judge's logic. The decision to hold Trump in civil contempt for refusing to comply with the subpoena for documents came Monday. Judge Arthur Engoron issued a written order Tuesday. He wrote, Trump willfully disobeyed an order to provide documents on his company, the Trump Organization, and must pay $10,000 a day until he does. Engoron also found that the New York Attorney General's civil investigation is harmed by Trump's failure to comply. Every day that goes by brings Trump closer to the statute of limitations where he can no longer be punished. The former president's attorney says Trump has already handed over every relevant document he has. Engoron countered that by noting Trump's legal team has not sworn it has searched file cabinets, calendars, and other records. By Wednesday, the former president's team had appealed the order. Trump may not have to pay any fines until the appeal is resolved.
2 people are dead following a medical helicopter crash in upstate New York. It happened Tuesday afternoon in the town of Elba. The Mercy flight helicopter was doing a training flight when it went down. They took off from the Batavia airport about 5 miles south of the crash site. The 2 people killed were the only ones on board. The cause of the crash is under investigation.
In case Chipotle's giant burritos don't fill you up enough already, the company is hoping to add it to its menu. Chipotle CEO said during an analyst call Wednesday they would like to come up with a dessert option or add-on other than queso or guacamole. The company has been trying to come up with a successful dessert for years. In 2017, it tested out buñuelos. That's a crispy cinnamony dessert with chocolate dipping sauce. The following year, Chipotle tested out a Mexican chocolate shake in New York. The chain has also considered churros as an option, but so far, nothing has stuck. Even without dessert or other new add-ons, Chipotle sales are up. And in the 3 months that ended March 31st, sales at restaurants open at least 13 months jumped 9%, and total revenue grew 16% to $2 billion. Now coming up, a look at some sports highlights. Back with Jason. Stay with us.
The sport of jiu-jitsu is mainly for, you can use it for self-defense. That's the #1 reason it appeals to people. There's other people who come to this club for the competition aspect, and also a lot of others who do it for the workout aspect. It has multiple ways of appealing to different audiences, and you should come give it a try. You might like it.
Welcome back. I'm that sports guy, Jason Lynch. Let's take a look at some sports near you. First, we got the Mets traveling to St. Louis to take on the Cardinals. Let's see how they fared. We start out in the top of the third with a runner on second base. Game tied at 0-0, and James McMahon sends one deep to center field off Jordan Hicks and gets the RBI single for the Mets to take them up by 1. Now we go to the top of the third, 2-0 Mets, with 2 runners on base. Starling Marte lines one left to left field off Andre Alente for an RBI single, and the Mets are up by 2. Top of the 9th now, going to the end of the game, 3-0 Mets, and Edwin Diaz gets a ground ball off of Harrison Barter to close out the game, and the Mets will win 3-0. Now we go to the Orioles traveling to the Yankee Stadium. Let's see how they fared. A rain delay in Yankee Stadium here, but bottom of the third as Anthony Rizzo hits a dinger, and it's a 3-run home run to right center field off of Isaiah Kinner, and Kyle Hesga scores 3-0 Yankees. Bottom of the 5th now, Anthony Rizzo hits another home run, 2-run home run on a fly ball right field, and the Yankees are up by 6. Now top of the 6th now, and Anthony Stuntler gets a home run. Home runs for days for the Yankees right now, and off to left field, and the Yankees are up 6-3. Now Gleyber Torres hits a 3-run triple at center field, and Aaron Judge, Anthony Rizzo, and Tim LoCastro scores, and the Yankees will go up by 6. Now we go to the top of the 8th as Austin Hayes hits a 3-run home run. Lots of home runs in this game, and Trey Mancini and Roken Oder score 10-8 Yankees. Close game in the bottom of the 8th as Anthony Rizzo hits a home run almost out of bounds, but it just gets in there, and the Yankees are up 12-8. Now top of the 9th, end game here as Trey Mancini strikes out, and that's a swing and a miss to seal the game, 12-8 Yankees. That's all I got for sports news. Back to the desk with Michael and Benny.
Thanks, Jason. Well, good day to be a fan of New York's baseball teams with both the Mets and Yankees winning last night.
Oh, yeah. Did you see that brawl in the Mets-Cardinals game today?
That was pretty intense. Gotta love baseball. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for tonight. To stay up to date with PS News and all of Plattsburgh State TV, be sure to follow at Plattsburgh State TV on all of our social media platforms.
Thank you for joining us, and have a good night, Plattsburgh.